Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Game of No Halves. This is a podcast with me, Miles, and my dad, Bob, where we discuss his football team that he's owned for many decades now, North London FC. The only thing is that it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, it does, Miles.
Okay, well, welcome to episode 2. Thank you for joining us again here on A Game of No Halves. We left you last time with a bit of a cliffhanger because we said that we were going to start going into the history of the results season by season of North London and the great success that you've experienced, Bob. And for anybody who's listening for the first time, briefly explain to everybody what North London is as a football club.
So North London is a club based in Swiss Cottage. It's the main huge sports complex within which there's a 70,000 seater stadium. There's a wonderful training facility literally just up the road in Leamington Road. And because of its geographical position, the team is called North London. So
yeah, like I mentioned in the intro, this only exists inside your head, right? This team.
No, it exists. it exists, Miles. It's my reality.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I can promise you that the team is solely fictitious in Bob's head. In fact, there was one time we were driving around the Swiss Cottage area, I guess, and there's a big like shopping centre there now, isn't there?
Redevelopment.
Well, yeah. And as we were driving by, Bob just looked at me and said, "That's North London's home stadium."
Absolutely. Yeah. Of course it is.
So North London, this is something I've known obviously for my whole life and grown up with you sort of playing these games, which you do with this very football that I'm holding up to the camera right now and a couple of the ones behind us as well. It's like a little tiny foam football that you kick around the house and play the games with. And we were saying actually in between last episode and this that what you essentially did was kind of create Football Manager, the game, but actually in real life in a way.
Yes, and of course I didn't have a computer to help me, so I would be doing it all analog. So in other words, what I did was we did touch on this in the first edition, but you know, I'd be playing my game around the house, taking on the identity of players as I got the ball to me, bouncing off that cupboard over there and landed my feet. And as I brought the ball under control, I would be in my head Zinedine Zidane, let's say.
Of course.
And so the goal would be there. I could shoot or pass or whatever. So I would basically make up commentary charts as to the ebbs and flow of these games.
Yeah.
So it became a very, very comprehensive record of the way all these games would go.
Yeah.
So, for example, we opened the
we're in the
2001-02
season here, aren't we?
2002.
Yeah.
We lost the Charity Shield 3-2 to Liverpool. But the opening Premier League game, we beat Bolton 5-0 and drew 3-3 away to Arsenal. And
another North London team, by the way.
Yes, indeed.
Do you have like grudge matches? Like Arsenal and Spurs, are they like big?
Absolutely huge.
Derbies.
Yeah. So sensational left foot shot from Fonseca, Zidane header from a corner, Dexter goal created by Figo.
Wow.
Great Arsenal fight back, equalising in the 92nd minute. No way. So at one point,
you were 3-0 up.
We were 3-1 up. It was
3-1.
It was 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and then 2-3 and 3-3
wow.
as they equalised in the 92nd minute.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Right, so if I can just pinch this off you for a second. So holding in front of me right now is the 01-02 season in typed out form here. So back in 2001, Bob.
Yes.
Where were you in? Where were we in our life then? What was going on at the time?
So you were 9, 10 years old.
Hang on. Yeah, I would doing 9.
9.
But am I in the team at this point? I'm trying to look now. Oh, I am in the team.
You're in goal.
Right, fine. Obviously, I'm not 9 years old in the North London world.
It should have your age there, Miles.
Oh, really? But so at this point, I would be
about
in my
18 or 19.
Oh, so I'm a spring chicken.
You're a young
I'm in goal.
A goalkeeper. Yeah.
Okay, so whereabouts in life? So 2001.
Okay.
What
I was at Radio 2, of course.
Yeah.
And my squad.
Yep. Yeah. Talk us through the squad at the start of the season.
Okay, so my squad for the 2001-2002 season, because it's evolved now.
Okay. Because we were saying in the last episode, obviously, that to start with, before all the records existed and you typed it out, the team
Yeah.
was made up of just real life players and other Premier League players. And
now I've started the rinsing process. To get rid of players.
You're enforcing your own rules.
I'm enforcing my own rules. So I've started getting rid of players that are playing for other Premier League teams.
Yes. Apart from Ryan Giggs, who's morphed a twin brother.
Ian Giggs.
Yeah.
But also, I've started now generating a transfer kitty through success in the Champions League and through buying players. So I've got a kitty, so I can now begin to
raiding other teams
reach
around
out
Europe and stuff.
with the one. I cannot sign players that are already playing for a Premier League team.
But then, so because you were touching on this last episode as well, and you have some sort of like youth academy as well, don't you?
Yeah. So I yes, I have. So
I'm in goal.
And Jamie.
Yeah, which is my older brother.
And Ben.
And which is my other older brother.
And
we're
Dylan.
In the squad. And that's my younger brother. So the four of us are in. Okay, fine.
So you're actually, in this moment, you're all in the team together.
Well, there you go.
Four Harris boys.
How about that?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's ever happened in football history.
Yeah.
Four brothers being in the same team.
Same team at the same time.
Who knows? But
so you're in goal.
So I'm number one, am I?
Yeah. So, because I also have to tell you.
Yeah. So just
I'm very strict about the numbers.
So in terms
squad.
of so right now, obviously in 2001, you are the manager.
I'm
the
the
team,
manager
right?
of the team. Yes.
Okay, so do you own the team or are you just the manager?
No, I'm just the manager.
Just the manager. Okay, fine.
In fact, the ownership and the politics of the team is something I don't involve myself in.
We don't need to. If you're managing,
we don't need to. I am very much involved in the kind of potential of what the team can create around it. So in other words, we've got this fantastic training facility down in Portugal.
Yes.
We fund a number of community.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Reinvesting into grassroots around
a lot
around the
of
London
money
area.
goes into
I like
grassroots. Yes, particularly in that area, we've got a scouting system that sees these young players that we're able to bring into the academy.
I see.
And,
there you go.
No
nepotism at all, though, with the all your sons being in the team.
They're all so good. you can't leave them out.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing is, obviously, we've got this massive, great stadium. So why not hold some rock concerts there or some music concerts there?
Yeah.
Harry Styles played there last summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that. So
go on then. So
the facilities there.
Yeah.
Because they're Spurs.
Has it got one of those like pitches that can fall back into the ground and become a stage? Yeah.
Of their stadium on the North London Lymington Stadium.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Looking for sponsorship, by the way, if anyone wants to dig into their pockets.
Yes.
So go on. Anyway,
so you're in goal.
So I'm in goal. So I wear the number one shirt, do I?
You wear the number one shirt. So my number two, my right back, in other words.
Yep.
My first producer at Radio 1 in 1970 was Jeff Griffin.
Okay.
His son is a really good football player.
Yeah.
Played right back.
Okay.
So, of course, he is my number two. He's my right back.
Naturally.
By this time...
What's his first name? Or do you...
I can't actually remember. Because as time goes in, I begin to put down the...
Griffin. He's a bit like he's a bit like Ronaldinho. He just goes by Griffin.
Just Griffin.
Yeah.
As we get later on the squads, you'll see the Christian names now begin to arrive.
But this is later.
So he's Griffin.
A bit like Prince.
But my number three, and what I try and do, if I sign a foreign player and they have a shirt number that they're playing in when I sign them, I assume they want to keep that number.
Okay, yeah.
So I just signed Figo.
Okay.
And he was number three.
Was he?
Yes.
Number three?
Number three. So he's number three in my team.
Wow, okay.
Number four, and one of my holding midfield players, is a guy called Jim Dowdle.
Oh, so this is the stuntman, right? You were talking about last episode.
Yes.
So he was robust in the tackle. Didn't mind get himself
I tell you, try and get past Jim Dowdle. Really. My two centre backs, Maldini and Cannavaro. Okay.
Italian connection at the back there. That's nice.
Yeah. Then Ben Harris was my number seven.
Yep.
And actually,
number seven. So did he play on the right hand side?
He played quite often on the right hand side. Yeah. I'd use him Beckham-esque, or
whipping some deliveries in.
As the number 10.
Okay.
Because he was
creative though, passing, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 8 was Paulo Fonseca, who actually 22 years later, I had to research. I thought, as I was looking through these old team sheets, who the hell is Fonseca?
No idea who this guy is.
No idea who he is.
Who is he?
Well, I'd signed him from Porto.
Okay.
He was a Portuguese international.
Fonseca. All right. I can't say I'm very familiar with him, but there we go.
My number 9 was Wes Dexter, one of the greatest Premier League goal scorers of all time.
Yeah, and again, we touched on Wes in the last episode, and this is the son of a friend of yours, right?
Yeah, Jeff Dexter, who was a big DJ in the 60s. Okay, but in my head sometimes, I would, obviously, as I'm playing, like when Wes Dexter got the ball, I would think of Jimmy Greaves.
Okay.
And because Jimmy Greaves was one of the great
high
goal
praise
poachers.
indeed for Wes Dexter.
So Wes was Jimmy Greaves, but in my head. By number 10, Zinedine Zidane.
Oh, obviously. You got Figo.
So I got Figo and Zidane in the same team.
Yeah.
Ian Giggs was my number 11.
Yep.
I had a backup goalkeeper called Martin. And then you've got Boban, Babangida, Dylan Harris, who's
my younger brother. So who?
Number 15, Jamie at 16. Paul McCauley.
Yeah. Oh, this is the next door neighbour.
Was number 7. Right? He's the next door neighbour. He was huge. He's about 6'7". So he was
big target man.
Exactly. If more subtle tactics didn't work,
just lump it forward.
Lump it up
to the next door neighbour.
Henrik Larsson.
Oh yeah. Okay. Lovely.
Amaruso. Yeah. And then Hofland.
Okay.
Who I'd just signed from PSV,
right.
actually.
It's
a backup centre back. Diego Fuser. This is another name. Fuser, Fuser. Right. If anybody remembers this player, Diego Fuser.
You sure it wasn't somebody that you've nabbed from the reception desk or something like
that? I saw him sort of throw a piece of paper into a bin.
Yeah.
My free kick.
He's got the technique.
Yeah, he's got the technique. But no, Diego Fuser, Italian, transferred from Parma. I bought him that summer. Fuser. Yeah. He didn't have a 22, but number 23, Dougie Booker.
Oh,
He'd
Doug.
just come through the academy.
So Doug is my oldest mate. Known him for like 20 odd years now.
And he is now the manager.
Okay, in the present day, he's graduated.
Took over from me as manager.
Really? Okay, fine. Oh, well.
And of course now you are a valued part of the management team.
Yeah, in the present day. But back in 2001, 2002, me and Doug were playing in the same teams together.
We were.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then another backup goalkeeper, Healy. I think he was one of the people way down the list at United at one point. Casaro, my 25. David Bennett. Now, here's another significant name. Yeah. He was one of the boys who played in the same team as Dylan at Hanny School.
Okay.
David Bennett. But he was a little younger than Dylan.
Okay.
Dylan and I went to see the team as it was a couple of seasons later. And he was the one still really good player in that team. So I signed him.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Robertson, I don't actually even at all remember who Robertson was, but he was my number 27. And if you notice, it goes 1 to 27. There aren't numbers like 79 and 83 and 58. There just aren't those numbers in my squad. I don't allow them.
Okay. What happens if
I'm a 1 to 11 man
there
myself.
You go. Yeah, you're old school. You're listening to A Game of No Halves, and we're taking a short break. We'll be back in a minute. So that's the squad then, and we're going forward into the, what are we now, 2001-2002 season.
Yes.
As the manager at this point in time then, Bob, you're looking at the season ahead of you. You've just won the Premier League, I assume, in the season previous. What are you looking to achieve from the 01-02 season?
We're looking to continue the upward curve because we're building up to the 2002 World Cup. That's what we're building towards.
Yeah, of course.
So, and in fact, this is where some of these ideas come from, because if you remember, we had a family holiday, didn't we, in Portugal?
Yeah.
So that's where
the training camp idea came from.
And I played the World Cup matches in the 2002 World Cup, which for me was the World Club Championship, which coincides with the real World Cup. But for us, it's the World Club Championship. So I devised then, and we've got we've got the files and everything, haven't we, for the World Club Championships, where I literally I scan the world for teams.
Yeah. So
and I break them up into. So this is summer 2002.
Here we go. We just found it like that. Perfect. Well, so in real life, the Club World Cup is, you basically take the league winners, don't you, from all the various
pretty much
leagues around the world.
I've got 8 groups.
Wow.
Group 1.
Okay.
North London, Argentina are represented by River Plate.
Okay.
Sweden are represented by Landskrona. And Nigeria is Club Nigeria.
You really do go into
Group 2,
these.
Juventus of Italy,
Yeah.
Pachna of Mexico,
Okay.
Tirol Innsbruck of Austria, and Deportivo Costa Rica.
Deportivo Alajuelense.
Yeah. So
I probably butchered that, but yeah.
Man
From
United.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, Man United. Look,
Yeah.
Group 3
Yeah.
with
Nacional from
from Colombia, Grampus 8 from Japan, and Lin from Norway.
Who are Grampus 8?
Yeah.
This is brilliant. Okay.
Well, before the Japanese league really got going,
Yeah.
Grampus 8 was the top team.
Really?
I think Gary Lineker might have even.
Well, the J League these days is very decent quality, actually.
Yeah.
And also, a shout out to a massive account that I'm a fan of on Twitter called Footy Scran, which rates various dishes you can get at football matches around the world. And the J League Scran looks to be the best in the world to me.
So these go all the way through to Group 8. What about this for a Group 8?
Yeah, tell me.
Real Madrid,
Yeah.
Inter Milan,
Okay.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
and Deportivo Jalapa from
Nicaragua. Jesus, you really have done your research.
Here are all the scores.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me. Yeah. Right.
These
So.
are the North London scores.
Yeah.
So
So you blitz past Landskrona 3-0.
we absolutely hammered River Plate.
Oh, 6-0.
6-0.
Wow.
Best performance since team beat Real Madrid in 1998 final is what I put on.
Final of the Club World Cup
Yes.
or something else.
Yes,
Okay.
also it might have been something else. I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
We had a shadow side play Club
Nigeria.
because
Yeah.
we were through by
So
this time.
the team at this point, I was still in goal. Bennett's made an appearance at left back. Fonseca, Casaro, Dexter, and Lars. I mean, that still looks like a pretty strong team to
It
me.
does. I'm playing.
Yeah.
If you notice, I'm playing Paolo Maldini at
Centre back.
left back.
Oh, it's centre back in this one actually.
I did left back in
Okay.
these.
Yeah. Okay.
So then my
So that puts you through then. So
the next group stage.
So is it? So looking at the league table, is it the top 2 teams from the group that
Yes.
then go through? So
Yes.
you and River Plate then qualify
Yeah.
for the next round.
Yeah.
Go on.
And then so you might remember this, Miles, because in terms of the way the injuries work,
Yeah, yeah.
if
Yeah,
I
just explain this to people.
so if I were playing and let's say I bashed my knee on one of the chairs in the house or something, I would go down holding my knee, and depending upon
Would you dive and try and get the other player sent off by the imaginary ref?
the level of severity of pain that I was experiencing at that moment
Yeah.
would dictate how long they were going to be out.
Okay, so
the team
the player you were imagining you were
So
at that
just-
moment
just a
is now
knock.
out with an injury. Yeah.
It's now so if you remember when I was playing in the around that, do you remember I broke my toe?
In Portugal. Yes, I
Portugal.
do.
Yes, I
yeah,
did.
Yeah.
That was Wes Dexter, my
No.
top scorer,
It's a disaster.
broken foot, out for 3 to 4 months.
Oh no.
So he wasn't even ready for the start
Well, I
of
was
the
going to say
following
this
season.
is right before the start of the
Yeah, and
the
here we
new
are
season.
in the middle, absolutely in the middle of the World
Oh,
Cup
I
campaign,
see. That is a
and we've
disaster.
I've lost my top scorer. So, but you have to overcome these.
So
things.
the next door neighbour is going to have to come in and put in a decent performance as the big target man in his place.
No, so what I did was I actually altered the formation of the team. I changed it, if you can believe this, and I'm trying to imagine how this would work, into a 3-2-2-3.
3. Wow. Okay.
Formation.
So is it like it's a bit like a 3-4-3, but you got 2 holding midfielders, is it? And then
Yeah, and what this does is it demonstrates something that I was very big on as a manager, and that is flexibility.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So intelligent football.
Yeah.
This was based on Dutch football in the
Johan
Cruyff era.
Total football.
Total football.
Yeah, yeah.
So all players were able to turn up. A centre back would turn up at centre forward.
Well, this is
A
where
right
Freddie
back-
Haynes comes into his own, I assume.
Yes, it is.
So Freddie Haynes is he in the team at this point? Actually, no, he's not.
No,
yet, is
he's
he?
still too young.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
So
go.
what I'm
A
expecting
North
here,
London team without Freddie Haynes. I never
I
thought
know
I'd see
it
the
is,
day.
yeah. So, but what I'm expecting is that the two of the, we've got 3-2-2-3.
Yeah.
So that 2, the defensive 2,
Yeah.
would drop back into the back 3 and it
Become
become
a 5. This is a bit, Man City
Yeah.
nowadays.
But you've got to have the players that have got the
Yeah,
intelligence to respond to the changes in the game.
Yeah. Well, that's
But okay, so it works, but I wasn't massively. Giggs and Zidane got the goals. We beat Palmeiras 2-0.
Okay.
But I wasn't. So then I changed it to
a tinkerer in this.
I did.
World Championship.
3-2-3-2 formation. That's when Paul McCauley, the big number 9.
Here he is, the next door neighbours.
Yeah.
He's filled in.
In he came, and we beat Patchner 2-0. So we win.
Lovely.
The second
okay. Oh, so
well.
right. So after the first group stage, this is the second group stage now.
Yeah.
And is it the top 2 from this group stage then also go through to the whatever it is?
So then we beat Sporting Lisbon in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Zidane got a hat trick.
Wow.
We beat Juventus 3-1 in the semi-final.
Okay.
Larson own goal.
An own goal.
And
How does that work again? How would an own goal
If
occur?
I'm shooting and it doesn't go direct into the goal, but let's say it deflects off something en route.
Yeah, okay.
That would be an own goal.
If the cat walks past or something and it goes...
Oh no, wait, because our cat Colby...
Yeah.
Colby's...
Has he scored a goal? Is he in the squad?
Colby
Maybe he should
is
be.
17 years old and would love... He used to love coming round when I was playing these...
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about in North London Worlds, he's 17, as in an up-and-coming player in the squad. No, he is actually a cat that is really 17 years old in real life.
Now, but in these days, 2001, what would he have been? A young cat, anyway.
Yeah.
But he used to love to play with me.
Yeah.
So he would be one of the defenders. I'd have to try and get past him, and he was... You know what Colby's like.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big cat. So he sometimes would sort of run back towards the goal.
Well,
So
he'd be defending the goal.
He'd deflect it for a corner. Yeah, he would.
Unbelievable.
So we beat Juventus 3-1 in the semi-final.
Yes.
And we beat Palmeiras
Wow.
4-1 in the final.
Oh, my goodness.
And Zidane got 2 more goals. So competition scorers, he got 6 in the competition.
So Wes Dexter's absence was...
he just got the 3.
Not that bad.
But, and World Cup scorers overall, because it takes us back
I see. So this is like
to
the world. So you've got a World Club Championship scores.
Yeah.
So does this tournament take place every 4 years, like the real World Cup?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So going back, so your overall Club World Cup top scorers
Cantona
then.
and Dexter to 12 goals each.
12 goals each,
in
okay.
the World Club scoring
World Cup
ranks.
Championships. Okay, fine. So yes, setting up beautifully for the 02-03 season with the Club World Championship.
Yes.
Victory.
And so if I could just spin us through time to the 2018 World Club Championship. And now, if you look at the squad by comparison, you are still in goal.
I'm 38 years old.
38
in 2018.
years old.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Freddie Haynes is now 31.
Yeah. Hogba.
Diego Godin.
Mbappe.
But do you know, of all the players that I've ever signed, there was a player that I still think is my best signing ever. And that was Riquelme.
Oh, yeah.
The Argentinian.
He was
Now,
great.
I only had him for 2 seasons, but he had a massive point to prove because he'd been left out of the Argentinian World Cup squad. And I don't know what it was. Teams didn't seem to want him.
He was at Villarreal, wasn't he?
I snapped him up. Yeah. Not only that, but then I gave him massive support, put my arm around him, told him how fantastic he was. Yeah. And in 2 seasons, I think he scored 39 goals for me from midfield. I mean, that was sensational. Yeah. So,
Juan Roman Riquelme.
Yeah.
So we've skipped on a little bit. So the end of the 01-02 season ends in Club World Championship victory for North London. Now this comes following. So the 01-02 season, Bob. So we've got an honours in 01-02. Yeah. So in Europe, and this would be why you're playing in the Club World Championship, I assume. You finished as European champions, so you won the Champions League. Right. The Premier League, you finished as runners-up in this season. Right. And if I scroll back through very slightly, who do you reckon it was to in that season?
Oh, United must be.
Who won 01-02?
It might have been Arsenal, actually.
It was Arsenal, yeah. By 2 points. You finished second, and then United were 3 points back from you.
Right.
FA Cup, beaten finalists. Beaten by Arsenal in the FA Cup final as well.
Wow. So they got did they get the double then?
They did the double, yeah. Wow. And then in the Worthington Cup, you were also beaten finalists.
By
you'll never get. Well, would you guess it? See if you can guess it.
Not Northampton Town or something.
No.
Ridiculous. No, I don't know.
Blackburn Rovers.
Blackburn Rovers.
You lost it. It was 4-4 after extra time. You lost 7-6 on penalties. Now that's another thing to discuss. Then how would you conduct a penalty shootout in this world?
Do you know, honestly, I don't know. I can't remember. I think I must have stepped way back and just kind of gone for it. So suddenly
What, as in, so in your head, you would just imagine?
yeah. It wouldn't be, because, you try and work out what 12 yards is in the context
In a living room.
of the living room. It's really hard to do it. So,
I suppose it is. Yeah, I suppose it is.
Yeah.
So, but overall, would you say a successful season, 01-02, runners up in the league and the FA Cup?
Oh, I think so.
Winners of the Champions League.
And World Club. Obviously, the World Club
Yeah, that's the
Championship.
big one,
That was the thing. Yeah. So also behind, bubbling along behind this,
Yeah.
I know we sometimes hear about it nowadays, the sort of coefficient where the success of a team gives them a certain number of points.
Okay.
So at any given time, you can calculate the top team in Europe, the top team in the world.
Yep.
You can do that. It's a sort of coefficient.
Okay.
And I wanted North London to establish themselves
Yeah.
as the top team in the world.
Right.
And I think that was the time that we finally took over at number one.
There you go. Obviously, the end of the season, runners up in all the domestic competitions, but winners of the European and international
So we
competitions.
played every single game that could possibly have been played
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
through that whole
Yeah.
season.
Every single game.
Every
That's
single
true.
game, yeah.
I'm just going back through some of the results here, Bob, and just going to pick out some highlights from this
Okay.
season as well, because there are some incredible results. Blackburn, it appears, were a bit of a bogey team for you this season, because early on, this is the 10th game of the league season.
Yeah.
You lost to them 5-4 in the league.
Really?
Yeah.
What's my summary of it?
Well, the summary is you were 3 goals down after only 13 minutes in a game of huge intensity. It sounds intense, to be fair. Team fight back strongly, but never get control of game as Blackburn press all over the pitch. Amazing game won by Blackburn in the last minute.
You see, press all... Now, when did you hear the phrase, press all over the pitch? Pep, everything he knows, he learned from me.
Came from Bob Harris.
Absolutely. The whole idea, right? So it was very revolutionary, wasn't it? When a few seasons ago, he introduced the idea that a fullback could
Sort of play into
actually
midfield a
operate
bit.
into midfield.
Yeah.
Could squeeze into midfield. My fullbacks were doing that then. I'm not kidding. It was one of the things with David Bennett, the left back, that we practiced on him doing time after time, that he would go into and finish up in the inside, what used to be called the inside left position, left-footed.
Yep.
So he'd be attacking the penalty box from the inside left, but last place you'd expect a fullback to attack you from.
go.
And because he had such a fantastic left foot, he scored goals. He scored loads of goals, in fact.
Well, I wonder if we should go through Pep's computer, see if he's hacked into you at some point over these last few years and stolen all your tactics.
He's stolen a lot of ideas from me.
Anyway, so going through the season, a big 5-0 victory against Derby County. With this would have been the season where they got like the record low amount of points in the Premier League,
Probably
I guess,
would,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
So that's not exactly a surprise. Lots of consistent results, but looking at turn of the new year, you actually are in first place, a point above United with a game in hand.
Right.
So you're in pole position coming into the new year. On the
So were
3rd
my
of January.
results not so good then?
Well, so no, it carries on quite well. Draw against Spurs, 5-1 win against Newcastle. That's a big result. With Dexter with 2, Larson with a hat-trick. 4-0 against Charlton, 5-2 against Leeds. So the results are looking good.
a lot of goals scored as well.
Yeah, exactly. But then comes down to the last few games of the season. There's a draw against United.
You know what I think now? I'm speculating here, but right, I played every single game there was to play in the previous season.
Yeah.
And I bet you now the team's just starting to get tired.
Yeah, maybe so.
Do I mention that in any of the summaries?
16 wins in the last 19 games. Can't compete with Arsenal's 13-game winning run. This would have been the Invincibles year, actually, wouldn't it? So that might explain why they... Yeah, it is. This is the Invincibles year, which would explain why you couldn't do it.
Right.
The final result of the season was a 2-0 win at home against Spurs. Boban scores opening goal in his last Premiership game.
Wow.
Finished runners-up for the 3rd time, having lost in the FA and Worthington Cup finals, which we explored earlier on. So at the end of the season, top scorers, Henrik Larsson actually finishes with 34.
That's not bad, is it?
No. Wes Dexter with 28, Luis Figo with 23, Zidane with 20, and the next door neighbour Macaulay pops up with a cheeky 13 goals.
Yeah, you see.
Which I think is a pretty good bit part rate.
Well, with Ben Harris putting in those crosses, no wonder he scored 13 goals.
Yeah, Ben
So good in the
himself
air.
got 10, so that's a decent little return for him.
Yeah.
So in terms of the teams you've beaten by this year, Liverpool, Blackburn, Man United, West Ham, Spurs, Blackburn again. But they were a bit of a bogey team.
The Spurs matches are interesting because our kits are quite similar.
You can't blame the kits in an imaginary world, surely. And there's away kits as well, right?
Very famously, Sir Alex Ferguson got United to change their strip.
No, I remember this. Was it against Southampton?
Southampton.
We still lost like 6-3.
6-3,
Yeah.
And the players claimed they couldn't see each other.
I mean, as far as excuses go, I think that's pretty lame.
But,
well, talk to me about the North London kit.
So basically, the basic strip is navy blue shorts.
Shorts. Okay.
And white shirt.
Okay. I mean, you're wearing the team colours today.
I am. And white socks with a blue trim at the top.
Yep.
A waist strip, exactly in reverse.
Okay.
So white shorts, navy top, navy socks with the white thing on the top.
Right.
So then that gives you actually 4 options, because after that you can go all white or all blue. Yeah. So depending upon who you're playing, you can mix and match without having to wear lime green or orange or orange with flecks on the bottom like Barcelona did a few years ago. Yeah. You know, so the colours of the team remain pure colours. It is what this is North London.
You're navy blue and white and navy blue, or all white or all navy blue.
So then within that there are various different colour, little design things like stripes on the shoulder, or there was a great Man United strip, for example, of when Cristiano Ronaldo won his first Ballon d'Or. Yeah. That slightly brighter, more orange red strip that United had that year with the stripe down the back.
Yeah, the white stripe.
I love that.
I've got a shirt of that, actually.
Yeah. So for that season, for example, we had on our white shirt, we had a blue strip down the back with the number in the middle of it. And conversely, on the blue shirt, a white strip down the back with the number in the middle.
So obviously, like real teams, you change your kit every year.
Yes.
So this could bring in some good audience interaction, actually, and seeing as we're coming to the conclusion of this episode. I've been thinking, Bob, we should have a North London third kit, because what happens.
I have resisted this for many years.
Well, I was going to say, but case in point, if you're coming up against Spurs and you're blaming the kits being too similar, even with all the options with the navy and the white, maybe a garish lime green third kit is not out of the realms of possibility.
Well, what do you think? People ought to come up with some ideas.
Well, I think so. Yeah, I reckon if you get in touch with us on our socials, we're just at A Game of No Halves across socials. Please do get in touch and follow us. We can have some kit suggestions, because I think a third kit could actually be quite a useful thing to have by the sounds of things. Judging by the Spurs result in this season, it might be a good idea.
Maybe you're right.
So get in touch. Let us know what you think the third kit should be. Should it be more traditional colours, or should we go for like a pink and blue or something like that?
Also, I would love your comments about the idea of numbers, squad numbers, because I'm a big 1 to 22 man myself. And then with the academy players, obviously, then there's maybe a gap, and then you've got the first tier academy players in the 30s, and then maybe going even into the 40s for the real juniors. But this idea that somebody signs to the club and wears the number 99 shirt,
well, I was going to say,
I'm
actually,
so against that idea.
Well, one of the more recent ones is Romelu Lukaku when he signed for Inter again. Obviously, he's normally number 9, but the number 9 shirt was taken, so he becomes 90.
I mean, how?
Well, he's 90.
How very sad is that?
It's not the traditionalist way, is it?
So I was brought up with the 1 to 11, and the sub had number 12.
Back in the day, the shirt numbers would change each game as well, depending on which position the player was actually in. Right, because
it's true. Because
United, you'd see George Best would wear 7, then maybe he'd wear 10.
Yeah,
and it was just
Bobby Charlton. Wore 9 quite often.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, thoughts
but
on
we are 1 to 11. So thoughts on this, because you look at any one of my teams at any given moment, and they're all the numbers.
It is true. Yeah, I mean, here's the squad list for the 01-02 season, and it is 1 to 27, with the exception of the number 22, which was vacant, which I'm assuming was because somebody must have left.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, where I always have given players their freedom is to, if, as I say, like with Figo, he was number 3 in his previous team. So when he came to me, I thought that
I had forgotten that. Was he 3 at Real Madrid then?
I think he was.
Yeah. God, that's crazy. Hilarious. Well, I guess that pretty much concludes it. So we're coming off the back of the 01-02 season. You've won the Champions League. You've won the World Club Championship, looking into 02-03 and looking to knock Arsenal off their Invincibles perch.
Yeah, we're after them.
I know.
They're in our sights.
Big transfer window coming up over the summer. So we'll explore all of that in episode 3. Thank you very much for watching again and for listening. Like I mentioned last time, if you want to get in touch on socials, at A Game of No Halves is where you can find us, and we'll be posting pictures of all the squads, all the different bits and pieces. There's loads of bonus content that we're putting on the social, so please do give us a follow on there and give us a 5-star rating if you're enjoying this on Spotify and the like. Otherwise, Bob, any final thoughts after this tumultuous season?
Well, it's going to be a challenge, isn't it? 2002-03, because as we say, the team played every single possible match they could have played in that season. So are we going to be tired?
This is going to be a bit like Liverpool of this season just gone, I think, because the season before that, they did play every game and then went straight into a Winter World Cup, and I thought you could tell that the players were tired.
Yeah, so I think I might even probably freshen the squad up. We'll have to see.
We'll have to wait and see. Yes, join us next time for that. And thank you again for listening and watching. This has been A Game of No Halves with Miles and my insane dad, Bob. We'll see you for another episode very soon.